Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva manusandadhami Bhagavad Gite bhavadveshinim. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Partha, the ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters. O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. The 9th Adhyaya Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and Sri Krishna is talking to us. He is teaching us that how even a wicked person who surrenders to me, who worships me with Ananya Bhakti, he attains to me, he reaches me in the course of time. He doesn't remain that durachari ever. And Sri Krishna has told us in this 30th Shloka of the Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga. He said, Apichet suduracharo bhajate mamannanyak bhak sadhureva samantavyaha samyak vyavasito hi sahaha. Api cha etat duracharaha. This kind of a durachari, such kind of a wicked person, the wretched person, even such person, when bhajate mam ananyat bhak, he worships me with the undeviated devotion, one-pointed devotion. The wretched person and me, that worship without any second thought, without any distraction as such. It is a one-pointed devotion. It is unstinted devotion. It is the devotion with firm focus, one-pointedness, ananya, without any second thought, just me and the Lord. That wretched person thinking nothing but the Lord with all the devotion. Sri Krishna says, Sadhureva samantavyaha. That wretched person, he should be regarded as sadhu. He should be regarded as a holy person, because giving up all his wickedness, giving up all his evil acts, giving up all his bad tendencies, he has surrendered to me and he has been repentant. He is through by way of that one-pointed devotion to me, he is giving me a promise. Lord, I may have committed, but now I am all yours. Now, no more evil deeds for me. And Sri Krishna says, such a person, you be sure, he is rightfully, he can be termed as, rightfully he can be considered as a sadhu, a holy person. Sadhu reva samantavyaha samyak vyavasito hi saha. Samyak is rightly, he rightfully, by all with good intention. Such a wretched person should be considered, should be treated as, and should be given the status of a sadhu. So, Sri Krishna says, I don't have, and earlier also he has said, that as far as this creation is concerned, as far as the beings are concerned, they are all equal to me. It is not that I love some, I hate some. No, they are all my children. Samoham sarva bhuteshu. That is what he had told us in 29th Shloka. And name dveshosti na priyaha. None is dear to me, none is one whom I hate. Even if somebody has done extremely bad, wretched, evil, ill things, even that being, even that person, if he takes refuge in me and starts worshipping me with the one-pointed devotion, unstinted devotion, undeviating devotion, not today worshipping me, tomorrow, who is this fellow? I don't know at all. Not like this. Unstinted, undeviated devotion, firm conviction that he is my Lord. Such a person, Sri Krishna says, that he has to be rightly resolved as a person of good conduct, a person of the holy nature, a sadhu, a mahatma. Now, how long does it take for such a person, who is a wretched person, who is evil, who has done all sorts of bad things in his life, but he has taken to worshipping the Lord with single-pointedness, with one-pointedness, with all the devotion that he has started worshipping the Lord. Now, what happens of such a person? Sri Krishna is going to tell us in this 31st Shloka, how long does it take to reach me? Sri Krishna says he is going to be a holy man. And how long does he take to reach me? Sri Krishna says, kṣhipraṁ bhavati dharmātmā śhaśhvach-chhāntiṁ nigachchati Kaunteya pratijānīhi name bhaktaḥ praṇaśhyati. Now about such a wretched person, a person with so many evil tendencies, who has done extremely wrong in the past. What happens to such a person who takes shelter at the feet of the Lord, who surrenders himself, who is a totally sharanagat, who becomes totally sharanagata to the Lord? That Lord, now I'm all yours. You do whatever you want to do with me. I don't know anything else. I know only you. You are the Savior. You are the Lord. You are the one who is going to save me here and hereafter. With that thinking, with that understanding, when even the worst of the worst kind of a person starts worshipping the Lord, what happens? Lord says, kṣhipraṁ bhavati dharmātmā. Kṣhipraṁ is very soon. Very soon, bhavati becomes dharmātmā. He becomes a righteous person. He becomes a man of good tendencies. He becomes a sadhu. He becomes a holy person. That durachari, who was earlier a durachari, who was earlier a very wicked person, he might have done a whole lot of ill things in his life. But the moment he surrenders to the Lord, the moment he starts worshipping to the Lord with that undeviated devotion, Lord says that kṣhipraṁ bhavati dharmātmā. Very soon, that person with the wrong tendencies, with the evil tendencies, he becomes into a dharmātmā. He becomes a righteous person. He attains the status of being a holy person very soon. Not that he has to slog for a number of years worshipping the Lord with that unstinted devotion. And having reached that state of dharmātmā, what happens of this person who was once upon a time the durachari? śhaśhvach-chhāntiṁ nigachchati. Nigachchati, he attains. He attains what? śhaśhvata-chhāntiṁ. He attains the eternal peace. Now there is no dilemma in his mind. Now there is no conflict in his mind. Now there is no bad and good in his mind. There is no evil and merit in his mind. Now is the stage where he attains that eternal shanti which everybody is seeking. All of us, we are trying to seek that śhaśhvata-chhāntiṁ. Now, this wretched person who might have had sleepless nights because of all those misconducts, who might have been worrying a lot what is going to happen with me if at all any chance of that Vivek Buddhi, activating in his mind. What is going to happen to me? I have done so many ill things. I have done so many bad things. I have done so... Naturally, such a person, at some point of time, he will lose peace of his mind. He will not get a sound sleep. He will not attain to that state of peace. But Sri Krishna says, the moment such a person, he starts worshipping me with unstinted devotion, very soon he becomes a man of good conduct. Very soon he becomes a holy person. And the moment he becomes a holy person, which doesn't take long, it is instantaneous effect for that matter, Sri Krishna says. Your bad tendencies will leave you just like that the moment you take a shelter at the holy feet of the Lord. And then it is śhaśhvach-chhāntiṁ nigachchhat. Such a person attains to the state of eternal peace. Kaunteya. Now Sri Krishna is telling Arjuna, oh Kaunteya, pratijānīhi. Know for sure. Na me bhaktaḥ praṇaśhyati. None of my bhaktas, none of my devotees, praṇaśhyati, they ever get destroyed. Whatsoever they might have done in the past, I don't look at their wrongs, I don't look at their goods, I don't look at what wrong they did, what ills they did, what evils they did. The moment they take a shelter at my feet, repenting on what they have done in the past, they cross over that distinction between bad and good, and they get into the qualities of holiness. They become dharmātmā, they become sadhu. kṣhipraṁ bhavati dharmātmā śhaśhvach-chhāntiṁ nigachchati Kaunteya pratijānīhi na me bhaktaḥ praṇaśhyati. My devotees, my own people, they will never get destroyed. They would never ever see those bad days for that matter. There is no destruction for them, those who have taken shelter at my feet. Soon does he, the Durachari, he becomes a man of righteousness and obtains eternal peace, everlasting peace. Then that peace is not to be shaken, that peace is not to be disturbed, that peace is not to be taken off. It is eternal peace. O Kaunteya, know for certain, know for sure that my devotee never perishes. My devotee always is with me. Now, many a sinner has within the span of a single lifetime, after conversion, changed into divine. We see, reading the scriptures, we see so many such instances. Valya becoming a Valmiki saint who wrote the Valmiki Ramayana. He was a highwayman, a robber, a killer, a dacoit. He might have killed so many people during his career as a dacoit. But having taken to the name of Lord, having taken to that name of Rama, he got above all those evils that he did. He crossed over that line from being a highway robber, highway killer, a dacoit and a murderer and a plunderer. He just crossed over that evilness in becoming a saint. And in fact, when we read the scriptures, when we read the historical instances, we come across several examples like this. That yes, people with the bad tendencies, they have changed a lot. The oldest case known to us is that of the sage Valmiki, of course. I mean, that is the best example one can get for such kind of a transformation, for such kind of a evolution from the bottommost layer of the evil doing human beings to the great saint Valmiki. Then an illustrious recent convert is Sri Girish Chandra Ghosh. Girish Chandra Ghosh, the great dramatist. He himself said, it is not, I may not have left any sin which is not done by a person. All wickedness was within this fellow Girish Chandra Ghosh. He was a wretch. He claimed I was a wretch. But the golden touch of Sri Ramakrishna, from that wretch, Girish Ghosh evolved himself in becoming the greatest devotee of Sri Ramakrishna, to the extent that when Sri Ramakrishna was on his deathbed at Kashipur, he had a desire of distributing the ochre robes to some of his very close inner circle disciples. He had asked one of his disciples to arrange such set of ochre robes, and then he had distributed those ochre robes to all his would-be monastic disciples, those who were to renounce everything and establish the Ramakrishna order. And one among those set of ochre robes, he has reserved it, kept it for Girish, his beloved Girish. He knew Girish might have done so many things in his past, but today he is a devotee. He has taken a shelter at my feet, and he is a totally transformed person. From the debauched, from the wretch, from the evil Girish, today he is a bhakta shreshth Girish. He is one of the greatest of the devotees, one of the greatest of the disciples, one of the greatest of the miracles of Sri Ramakrishna, for that matter. So that was the example that Swami Chidbhavananda ji has mentioned in this. The Pandava brothers themselves bear testimony to the fact that devotees of the Lord never get lost, never get perished, they never get destroyed. Those who are the devotees of the Lord, they never get destroyed. Whatever circumstances they may get into, they might be into worst of the worst circumstances, but their faith, their devotion never gets shaken, never gets shattered. And under whatever circumstances, 13 years the Pandava brothers with their wife and mother, they had such a bad time, staying in that forest, and all those 1 year staying in hiding. But still, their faith, their devotion to their Lord, to their chosen deity, it never got shattered. It was never shaken. As a result, happily they, passed those 13 years, 12 years in the exile, and 1 year not to be recognized by anyone. 13 years, can you imagine? We can't remain in that state for 13 days. And the Pandavas and Draupadi and Kunti, they survived. They happily, with the blessing of their Lord, they spent 13 years just like that. All the 5 of them had unflinching devotion to Sri Krishna. They lost their empire. They were exposed to many dangers. How many times Kauravas, they made an attempt on their life. Untold trials and tribulations came upon them. The life of long exile in the forest was painful, but they did not falter in their faith in God. Their faith was absolutely unshaken. Adversity only increased their love for God. The more and more bad times came on them, they were equally, more so they got devoted themselves to the Lord. The more miseries came, the more sorrows came. In the reverse proportion, they got attached to the lotus feet of the Lord. So what? All these bad days have come. So what? These miseries have come. Lord is with us. Lord is also suffering with us. How can He let us suffer them? So that was the teaching of Sri Krishna in this 31st shloka that we read, that my devotees, they never perish. And even if a devotee, even if a person might be durachari, might be wretched, might be evil, the moment he takes shelter at my feet, the moment he starts worshipping me with unstinted and unflinching, unwavering devotion, he reaches the state of becoming a dharmātmā. And for him, there is nothing but eternal peace. Then he can sleep, very sound sleep, undisturbed sleep, no worries for tomorrow, no worries of what will happen to me. He knows Lord is there to take care of me. I have taken shelter at his feet. Now I am his responsibility. He better take care of me, otherwise he will suffer. So that is what happens when even a wretch, even an evil, takes refuge in the Lord, starts worshipping the Lord with unwavering devotion. So that was 31st shloka of the Rajavidya, Rajaguhya Yoga, and Sri Krishna explaining to us one more secret of how we can reach that stage of paramashanti, śhaśhvah-chhāntiṁ, and how we can reach that stage from where there is no destruction for us. There is nothing to perish us. We are imperishable Brahman. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swami.